Most nonprofits lose nearly 8 out of 10, and you heard that correctly, 8 out of 10 of their first time donors after just the first gift. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can change that, starting with your year end campaign. So, today we're going to look at year end giving plan and how to keep those donors. We are going to look at the purpose of this plan, the path or steps that we're going to take, the messaging to include in each of those touch points and steps, and then how we can help you with next steps as we wrap it up. The statistics that 8 out of 10 donors don't give again after that first time gift is really quite staggering. And I think that's because sometimes those donors fall through the cracks because we're trying to get so much done. And I like to say something that we're really good at shoulding on ourselves. We should do this, we should do that. And we're trying to get more and more done. But really, I think we need to shift our thinking into believing that you don't need to do more. You need to focus on what matters most. And that really is a shift in thinking. I know it is for me. And I think it can apply not only to nonprofit fundraising and year end giving, but really to our own lives as well. Like, what are we doing that isn't moving our mission forward or the needle forward, and we're just checking it off because we think we should be doing it? So we are not going to should ourselves today. We are going to focus today on not doing more, but what matters most. Let's dive into some donor journeys for year-end giving. And you might be thinking, what is a journey? Well, I like to talk about that journeys are intentional step-by-step experiences or touch points that an individual is having with your organization. This can be from the first awareness of your mission through their first gift, diving deeper and engaging with them, and ultimately like long-term advocacy. We're going to turn that first-time donor into that ambassador for our organization. And this is really a part of what we call the Smart Steward method, which really focuses on donor stewardship. So we're creating relationships rather than just being transactional. We want our interactions with our donors to be intentional and relational rather than just transactional. Now, if you want to find out more, we did have a really great video on donor stewardship, what it is, and the Smart Steward method. And really, today we're diving in how to put this into place with year-end giving. I encourage you to follow our fundraising lab and take a look at that Smart Steward method and our 3 E's. But today, we're going to implement a plan for year-end giving, and we're going to do a year-end giving journey. So let's dive in. So the purpose is to re-engage donors by deepening their connection to our mission. And notice that I said re-engage our donors. So we are going to focus today's video on donors who have given to us in the past. In fact, we're going to look at a pretty specific list of donors who gave last year, but who haven't given this year yet. And we're going to remind them of their connection to our mission. And we're going to do that through personalized outreach, showing up with gratitude, and telling our story. So we're going to use impact storytelling. And all of these things are going to drive renewed support and lasting loyalty to our organization. So how are we going to do that? Well, if you have seen some of our other videos, this is very similar to our donor journeys, but today we are having a plan for a year-end giving journey. Now you're going to see that this is starting in October and it's actually working us all the way through January. So we're focusing on this end of year and how we can re-engage our last year but not this year donors. So we call those LYBNTY donors. You'll see here the first step in October is to identify the donors who gave last year but not given this year. And you might ask, well, how can I do that? Well, if you are using a CRM, there may be a pre-built report that you can just simply click a LYBNT or a SciBNT report. So that's last year's donors, but not yet this year's donors. Or if you don't have that one, you can also broaden it to donors who have given some year, but not this year yet. If you are not in a CRM or you're in a CRM that doesn't have a standard report for it, you can do this by looking at the gift date ranges. People who have given in 2024, whose last gift date is in 2024, but they have not given a gift in 2025. So there's different ways that you can run these reports. And then I think it's also like a really fun quick tip is to, while you're also running those reports, do a cross reference with their giving history. So, how many gifts did they give last year? What's the total of their lifetime giving? And do they prefer to be connected via email, text, mail, phone calls? What's their preferred communication channel? And this is really important. We can run these reports and use this data to personalize our next step, which is coming up in those first couple weeks of November. So it's a great place to start. I always think configuring or customizing is easier than coming up with it from scratch. But once we have that report, we're going to take the first couple weeks in November and we're going to personally reach out to our donors that have given last year. So in this case, 2024, but they haven't given yet in 2025. And we're going to personalize that. We're going to send out a personalized email, make a phone call, have a handwritten card. And we really want to target in on their past donations. Thank your donor for their past donation, and then lean in with how their past gift has impacted your organization. And we're going to get more into the messaging about that as well. Now, after that, in December, in like the first week of December, we're going to share a success story or a behind the scenes look at our organization. So, this is going to be impact focused again. Send an email, or maybe it's a letter or an infographic that highlights a success story of one of your beneficiaries. It could be a testimonial or like a sneak peek behind the curtains of how your organization operates. Then in December week 2, we're making the ask of this. And it's really fun if you can in your year-end giving to maybe have a matching gift campaign or like a challenge. So we're going to kind of gamify our ask here. So again, though, we really want to reference their past gift and make it personal. Last year, your $100 gift helped to feed 40 families. Okay. We're going to tell the story and then support it with our statistics and then really show the gap that's going to happen without their gift. And we always want to make a very clear call to action, make it easy to give. So that could be a link, a QR code, and make it clear what you want them to do. Now, I know December is busy. That is not lost on me, but this is why even with these small teams, if you're implementing these reminders and we can do this on a consistent basis, it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Now let's look at that December week 3 and 4. So here we're going to encourage momentum and that final kind of push in real time for that stewardship. So something really helpful can be sharing your progress on social media, right? We're 50% to our goal that we have. And then make sure within these 3 to 4 weeks, this could really be divided up even into 3 separate emails or touch points where you're saying 1 week to go and we're trying to do this, and encourage the urgency in that. That's what's nice about the year-end giving part is there is a distinct timeline for the end of the year. And actually, this week 3 and 4 is really important. 10 to 12% of year-end giving is actually done in the last 3 days of the year. And we all know why, right? It's a busy time and a busy season. So keep pushing, especially with that urgency as we're getting into those final weeks of December. And then in January, it does not stop. This is why some of these donors have become last year, but not this year donors, is that we haven't been great about connecting with them after the gift. And so that's why in January, we're also going to look at personal follow-up and continued engagement. So we're going to send them a heartfelt thank you for their recent gift. Share the impact in action update. What's already happening with that donation and that gift? And then invite this segment of your donors, your last year but not this year donors, to a new journey or further engagement. So it could be based on their gift size, or if it's, their second gift, or they've made it a monthly gift. We can engage with them further by developing a new journey or using one of your other journeys to keep engaging with regular communication and cadence. We don't want to let them drop off and have them be on our LYBNT list another year. So it's really important to continue the relationship loop. So there's your plan and the purpose of it. Okay, we're re-engaging our last year but not this year donors. We have our plan, our cadence of communication that we're going to give. And now let's focus on the messaging. So when we're re-engaging our LYBNT donors, so last year but not this year donors, the messaging should feel really warm, personal, and gratitude driven. We're reminding them of their affinity to our organization, the difference that they've already made before, and showing them how much their support is still needed now. So really make it personal. In this, we are not telling them necessarily about our organization. They already know about us. So let's lead with gratitude. Start by sincerely thanking the donor for their past support and making it clear you remember the value of their gift. Keep it warm and personal, humanizing it with friendly language, use their name, and make sure the message feels like personal outreach and not just this mass communication. There is a time and a place for your marketing, but this is a time to really keep it personal. And then share a bite-sized impact story. So we're just offering this teaser, a really short, tangible update on what their past gift helped accomplish. And then ideally, you're going to use a specific person, project, or beneficiary of your mission. So we're leading with gratitude. And then that second touch point, typically this can be an email or a letter, but you're going to highlight a compelling story for your organization, a recent concrete example of your nonprofit's work. And you want to story tell. So lead with the story, remind the donors what their last gift did and how it helped you accomplish this story. So last year we said this, your $100 helped feed 40 families in need, and really create this emotional bridge from their past generosity into the present opportunity that you have as well to further their engagement. And then frame that ask as an invitation. Keep it gentle. You're going to position it as an opportunity to be a part of something meaningful. It's not an obligation, it's really an invitation. And I think that can go a long way when you're presenting the ask. In our third touch point, as I mentioned, gamifying your year-end giving can be really fun. So highlight a challenge or a match gift. So clearly explain the opportunity you have. Now, every generous gift made will be doubled up to $10,000 before the end of the year, right? And then again, show the gap without their support. Point to the need that you have. And then without your renewed support from donors like you, we risk falling short of our goal or filling the urgent needs of families or the animals, whoever you are supporting. And then again, simple, strong, clear call to action. Keep it simple and say exactly what you want them to do. Give today and double your impact. Make it easy to give, whether it's a direct link, a button, if it's a mailer, where to send it, or even a QR code to link to your online giving. Those can be really quick tips, but we want to make it clear and easy to give. The fourth touch point in those final ones, again, progress updates. Social media works great for this. Maybe it's a giving progress bar on your giving page, whatever it might be. Very clear urgency in that messaging, too. Only 5 days left, or we need 10 more donors before the end of the week, right? So make it clear. And then highlight donor participation. Encourage your donors to be a part of something bigger, a part of a community. So join 127 donors who have already stepped up this December. So make them feel a part of something bigger can always be really helpful too. And again, this fourth touch point can really be broken into separate ones that you're sending out the last week, the last 2 days, and then that final day, encouraging that urgency in this if you want to divide it up even a little bit more. And then we always want to make sure that our snapshots lead with stories, maybe pictures or videos are great. Reference any preference to your donor that you've captured earlier. When you're talking to your donors, it's really great to personalize it so that the donor knows they're not just getting the same message as everybody else. And then come January, we are going to thank again and encourage continued engagement. So again, we're leading with gratitude. We started this year-end campaign with gratitude, and we're going to end with gratitude as well. Thank them for their gift and acknowledge that this is a return gift that you know that they gave before. And then right away, emphasize the ongoing impact. Make it clear how this new gift is going to help your organization and maybe what you've already done with it. And then if you can, connect that past and present to really show the continuity of the impact. And then that next step invitation, it doesn't have to be an ask, right? Invite them to sign up if you want to have an ask, maybe monthly giving, but a softer ask can be save the date for an upcoming event or volunteer opportunity. It could be even as simple as join our newsletter and stay up to date with what's happening in our organizations. And that's really personal, again, to the donor and the relationship that you're developing with them throughout this year-end campaign and into the new year as we are connecting with them and sustaining that. All right. I hope you found this really specific journey for year-end giving helpful as we're coming up into that crunch time. And hopefully you can take the purpose of your year-end giving, use that plan with the path, and really customize and personalize your messaging so that you can think, connect, and sustain and really build out that year-end giving campaign into year-round relationships. If you want to have more information or step-by-step detailed journeys, just like the one we saw, I encourage you to sign up for our free 7-day fundraising bootcamp. This is videos and templates, everything right at your fingertips. And if you found this helpful, I would encourage you to subscribe to the Fundraising Lab and check out our other videos if you want to dive a little bit deeper into our Smart Steward method, donor journeys, or the 3 E's of fundraising. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope I'll see you back soon.